YouTube, how we doing? Pass the prop back here yet again. It is a Friday NBA show today. We got some games to break down with you. Joined as always, Stu. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. Can't complain. Obviously, first weekend all year for me with no football, so that's got to get used to that a little bit. But beyond that, excited, happy to be here, happy to talk some bets.
Yep, we got 8-game NBA slate, a smaller college basketball slate as well, just because, Saturdays are just kind of – they're the hectic days to keep track of everything that you got. So going to be pretty wild day tomorrow with, full UFC out there. We got full NHL day, full NBA day tomorrow. So it's going to be kind of a crazy Saturday. But there's some money to be made on this Friday. Build up the bankroll for that. And yeah, let's get into a quick recap. I get to talk about Luka's little injury in my last one. He cashed on our first bet of the year with points assists. The first half over does not come through. I think he played 4 of the 12 first quarter minutes where he's usually, 11. And yeah, it kind of just blew up the whole game plan there because you had to bring LeBron back in early, and then you don't know when Luka comes back. So it was just, all the stuff before the game too with LeBron. He kind of just started a little bit slower as well. So we're unable to get there. That's the good and bad part about playing a first half over.
Yeah, unfortunate. Obviously, losing your best player for most of it doesn't help. It is what it is. When he fell on that weird, he was complaining about the court being kind of raised over off to the sideline. So I don't know what the deal with that was, but obviously unfortunate.
Yeah, so that obviously drops there. We'll have to move through this pretty quick because I just saw news on your bet for today, Stu. I'm seeing your boys' injury reports are coming out here, so we'll have to kind of keep that in mind when we talk about your bet. I don't know if you just saw that, but that just popped up on my screen there. But Hunter, dude, it was close, man. What was he, 1 point off?
Yeah, 19 points. It's one of those where you just look at it, you're like, come on.
In what, 20? It was 21 minutes. He barely played, bro.
Well, and also he started 0 for 5 or 0 for in the first quarter. He had nothing at all. He missed everything. So it's just damn. Unfortunate. I was hoping maybe he'd get a blowout minute or two, but really didn't get that much there. A little bit at the end, when the game was kind of out. But yeah, 1 point away. We're right there. We're right on it. Didn't get this one, but you feel good about it when you're at 19 out of 20 on a long shot. It's we didn't win, but feel like it was the right call. So unfortunate. We'll try to get this one here today.
Yes, sir. And I hit one of the two. I don't know what that Bulls rotation is. I will now be banning the Bulls from bets going forward. You just don't know this rotation, man. Giddey had, I think, 4, 3, and 4 in the first quarter. Played 9 minutes, ended the first half with 14 minutes. And I'm like, dude, bring this dude. He was cooking, dude. He was cooking. They played all the backups for most of that second quarter, which kind of just killed everything. And then they sat him the last 3 minutes of the game because I don't know if they just don't want him to be over certain numbers for minutes throughout this, even though he's been back for how many already. But, yeah, it was very infuriating, especially when Barnes gets it done pretty easily.
Yeah, was it a back-to-back maybe? Didn't they have one yesterday or no?
They
played yesterday. The Bulls did. The Bulls played yesterday, right? So I think it was probably maybe one.
This was the front. The one that I bet this was the front of a back-to-back.
Yeah. So I'm saying maybe at the end they sat him. You just said the couple minutes there. I was thinking maybe they sat him because, I don't know, a couple minutes fresher. I don't know how close the game was, but
it was
unfortunate. Unfortunate. It is, parlays are always tougher, but obviously if you bet them both at plus money, you got one of them at least. I sprinkled a little bit of both of them, so.
Yeah, happy with Barnes. Plus 150. I think Barnes was plus 150. But my rule with Stu, man. I can't let you have a long shot. So I had to tie your numbers. It's just the rules. That's the rules we go by here. So, we both got spots for today. I know you got a long shot here. Let's kind of look through this slate, Stu. I think we got some good spots to go off of. And we finally got your team in action. I know that's a team you want to talk about because that's the Wizards, but. What's your thoughts on this slate as we go forward with 8 games?
Yeah, they just kicked your boys' ass last night. Little back-to-back wins over there over the enemies and Kyle Kuzma and Ryan Rollins, former Wizards.
Dude,
Both of them
I got
struggled.
to get this out there. I had a fucking bet with Ryan Rollins double. Of course, he gets 3 fouls in 8 minutes in the first quarter or in the first in the first half. Boy goes out and puts up a fucking crazy second half, and I'm like, are we gonna hit this shit, bro? We're gonna hit this shit. And he was like 19 and 9, and I'm like, he had 3 assists in the first fucking half, and I'm like, we're not. I just marked it off, and then he had 8 going into the fourth quarter, and I'm like, fuck yeah, we're gonna get this. Of course, they sit him in guard. They sit him at the end of the game. I'm like, oh, we fucking come on, man, come on, dude.
Yeah. But it was John Wall night in DC last night. He was at the game and everything. So I was like, I knew they were gonna be competitive. Like that's like probably their best crowd of the year they probably had, outside of maybe whenever like LeBron or Steph Curry comes into town. Like that was probably their best crowd of the year. So it's good to see him get a win in that one. But I don't think the momentum continues, honestly. Obviously today now 10-point dogs, I believe, with some of this injury stuff, but the Lakers probably beat them. But I guess maybe if this game's in DC, maybe I'll check it out. I wanted to go yesterday, but didn't have time with work and stuff. But yeah, it's good. I'm telling you guys, buy stock on the Wizards next year. I bet on their under back-to-back seasons win total. Next year, we're finally up. These young guys are pretty good. So excited to see that. But yeah, that's going to be the game I'm watching. Like I said, I might go to it. So not going to be as tapped into the other game on the slate. But, first glance at it, Cleveland, Phoenix could be fun. They're back-to-back as well. So it might be – or are they back-to-back? Or no, we talked about them on Wednesday, actually.
Wednesday for Cavs.
Yeah, okay. So I'll probably be looking at that game just because I think I like the injury stuff with Cleveland and betting on some of these backups again.
Yeah, dude, I think it's the young guys for me. I think it's that young game yet again with the Memphis Grizzlies, with the Pelicans. The Pelicans are fun, man. I think they're a fun team. They got rid of McCollum, which is nice, getting some of those older guys out. And now you got, young Trey Murphy, Jeremiah Fears. You got Zion still playing his 28 to 30 minutes. The only frustrating part for me is I made a lot of money on Derek Queen like 3 weeks ago, and I was just cooking with him. And now it's impossible. Him and Yves Missi just split, and it's it's infuriating. Like I'm like, dude, I want I was getting doubles at 300, and I was cashing those like every other game. And now I'm like, if he gets 28 minutes, it's money. A lot of times it's 23 to 24, and it's full on split city, which sucks. But this is a fun team to watch. That Pelicans team is going to be a very good team coming forward here.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was one I hard to bet, when there's that much of an even split, and it's random. It's like if one guy's it's like the hot hand running back tandem in the NFL. It's like you don't really know until the game's going on and you get to see, and then that guy who's playing better, they get the bump, which I guess it's good if you're live betting, but I know most people are not live betting the NBA like that, especially like the Pelicans on a night-to-night basis. But hey, if you are, you'd probably make a little money, not gonna lie.
Yeah, crazy. Tonight we have only 3 of the 8 games over a 225 total, which in this common day NBA is not normal. We even have a game under 210, which is unbelievable. That just does not happen in modern day NBA. But we got, obviously your Wizards are in one of the over games, of course, because I don't know if they could play a slow game to save their lives. But yeah, it'll be a good slate. We obviously talked about our favorite games here. I think it's just time to jump right in. I'm going to ruin this for you guys because I'm going to let Stu go first because I'm kind of nervous about this, and I want you guys to get this in because I did see all of this news just pop up on my phone about this game. So I want you guys to be able to get this in. Did you see what I was talking about there?
Yeah, Trey Johnson out, Middleton out, right?
Yep, and then I think Bagley too. I think obviously that doesn't matter that much, but I feel like probably letting you go first might be the best way to do this, just so it doesn't move like crazy or lock up as much here. So I'll let you start us off.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I'm going back to some long shots here. I'm still locking into the NBA, but you guys know I love my Wizards. And yeah, I kind of expected Trey to miss. I don't know. I'm trying to check DraftKings right now to see if this is even available anymore. It looks like it is still, which is good.
Yeah, that's why I said I think it might lock soon, but
Yeah.
it's still up there for me.
So there's probably going to be a little line movement, but I'd say anything better than like 250 is good right here. I like Bub to climb the assist ladder. And honestly, I like PRA in general. I think he steps up here. Middleton, I guess I should have known since the old age stuff, but that's nice that he sits too. But Trey Johnson injured his ankle last game, which is obviously big as he's been one of their other guards. When he went out, Carrington came in and started the second half in his place. When you look at Washington's depth chart, they don't have point guards. They don't have ball distributors. Like when I read you these names, right? Trey Johnson is listed at point guard. He's not. He's a shooting guard. Then we got Bub Carrington. Then we got Malachi Branham, who's also a shooting guard. And then we have AJ Johnson, who's playing in the G League right now. So it's like, who's going to pass the ball here when we look at this roster? I guess maybe a little bit more for Alex Sarr out of the post, but that's not what he does. Like Will Riley, the young guy, Champagny, these are like, who's passing the ball? Keyshawn George has stepped up. I agree. Keyshawn George looks good, but he's a young guy. He can only do so much. Like Bub is going to be the primary ball handler in this game. So I love the upside here. Like I really do. And Bub has never been like an awesome passer or anything like that, but he's improving. He's been getting better. This season already has been a nice, especially in this second quarter of the season, he kind of got off to a slow start. But this month, right, when you look at games where Bub Carrington has played 30 minutes, he has at least 7 assists in 5 of those 8 games. And I believe 9 assists in 2 of those games. So he's been climbing that ladder fairly consistently. And that's normally with Trey Johnson. That's normally with another ball handler that's going to just take reps away from him. But that's not the case right now. There should be really minimal competition. I think the biggest worry is blowout, just second leg of a back-to-back. You're actually winning games, which doesn't happen that much. I don't know how they're going to respond to a Lakers team coming in here. Maybe the Lakers just kick their ass. That feels very possible, but I see a lot of opportunities. Bub finding the guy in the paint. Aiden's soft. I'm cool with that. Whoever's down. Sar's been playing great recently. I just see a lot of opportunities for Bub. And honestly, I don't even mind double-double at 9-1, 10-1. In a lot of books, obviously, is assuming that assist ladder goes all the way. But yeah, I just see a lot of upside with Bub, honestly. I see opportunity, and that really trumps everything, right? At the end of the day, if you're going to have the ball in your hand almost a majority of the game, I want you for a ladder, an assist, even if your surrounding cast is kind of 50-50. So I like the chance here. I like the upside. They don't have much ball handling competition. A lot of teams will have, we used to have Tyus Jones, or they'll have a guy off the bench who's just a pure guard, right? They're not the shooter. They're not flashy, but they can come in, they can dime. We don't have that at all. We have shooting guards as backup point guards. So it's Malachi Branham comes in and puts up shots. He's not passing the ball. Jameer Watkins comes in and plays as a wing, a defensive guy. We don't have guards that pass the ball. So Bub, get ready to diamond this one because we need you. You need ball movement. You know what I mean? And I think he's their best shot at it. So yeah, I like his ladder potential a lot. And no Trey Johnson takes away one of those guys that makes those buckets, but it opens up opportunities to just have the ball in your hands a ton. So give me some Bub Carrington ladders. I think he's a good long shot guy for today.
Awesome. Yeah. I always like playing these dudes with you because you obviously know these guys better than most, and not many people out there and grinding Wizards basketball like Stu. So we will always like seeing those on the screen here, and hopefully we can cash a couple of these going forward when we get these role players. Right? I know you're the guy who loves to roll with these role players. I'm going to. Can we say budding superstar? I don't know. He's up there, man. He is getting some love here by a lot of people, and I think it's well deserved. He's been probably one of my favorite guys to bet on this year. It's Keontae George. I'm gonna go to points, rebounds, assists over 35.5 at -120 on FanDuel. Honestly, reason for the rebound assists addition. Assists, he's been obviously pretty good throughout the year, but the rebound assists is we got no Yusuf. You got no Yusuf Nurkic, and that has been just a thorn in the PRA side of Keontae George lately because Nurkic has just been swallowing every rebound. 13.2 potential assists over his last 4 games for Nurkic. We've been seeing Keontae around 9. I think that obviously completely flips tonight with him out of the game. And also, I think this is pretty wild to talk about because, when we think of guys who draw free throws, right? When we think of guys who draw fouls, Luka's at, I believe, 12%. Keontae George is at like 11.8% personal foul percentage drawn on those drives. So he's 10th in the league right now in drives per game. And I looked at free throw attempts per game. And that's something that, when you look at personal fouls, first one pops to mind is Luka, right? Luka's won by a lot. Denny, a guy who drives every time he touches the ball. Then it's SGA, right? These dudes who kind of draw those fouls there. Keontae George is 9th in the league in free throw attempts per game, which is fucking huge when he's shooting 90% this month from the free throw line. Those are free. Those are free points, dude. When you're driving as much as you are, now you don't have a guy that's as heavy usage as Yusuf Nurkic in there. I think George can double-double with the assist. I think he has that type of upside. I'm not going to play it because I feel like every time I play it, Isaiah Collier goes for 8 assists and just pisses me off. But how many times throughout this year are we going to get a game where the Utah Jazz are not 20-point dogs, bro? They're 2-point favorites tonight. They're favored at home tonight. It's tough to look at some of these games for George when they're losing by 20. They're losing by 31 to Miami. He still played 35 minutes in that game against Miami, and they lost by 30. What happens when I play a close game, right? We seen a 39-minute game when he played Minnesota, and he dropped 43 in that game. The 37-minute performance against Dallas, 29-6. Right? When he's getting these heavy minutes, he's absolutely producing. Close game against Cleveland, close game against Chicago, 25 points, 32 points, 9 and 7. Like he's putting up numbers when they get, competitive ball games here. And honestly, I hope Lauri Markkanen plays. I think that'd be great for him to, get those assists.
I think he's out.
Is he out for sure?
Yeah, according to
then it's even better, dude. He's going to shoot a shit ton. I wanted the assist for that double-double, but now it's for sure just going to stick with this for me. Just because he's going to be number one option, but for sure, maybe I look at Collier, bro. Maybe I look at a long shot on Collier assist because those two are really the only two that handle the ball. Ace Bailey is not a guy out there looking to pass the ball ever. So then you look down this spot and it's like, okay, you give maybe 10, 15 shots to Ace Bailey, right? And really, Keontae George should be the dude putting up almost every single shot when Ace Bailey's not on the court. He should be. Like you're just looking at these role players on the Jazz. It's like Bryce Sensabaugh. Yeah, he had that big game, but George and Lauri Markkanen were out and Nurkic were out. Like you need a lot of dudes out for it. And we still have one of the guys with a high usage rate still in this game. So I'm going to be rolling with Keontae George. I'm not worried at all about this Brooklyn Nets defense. They're bottom 5 in points in the paint with a guy who drives as much as Keontae George. Should have no problem drawing fouls. Should have no problem scoring on buckets in the paint. If they do pop over, you still got a guy like Filipowski out there. You still have a guy underneath the hoop like that can make something happen. So hopefully he doesn't. I remember the one game he started in DFS. I saw everybody complaining I don't play NBA DFS anymore, but there was a game that everybody was out, and Filipowski went like 0 for 10 to start the game, and everybody was up in arms about it. This feels like a game that's a little better matchup for Filipowski here. Sign me up for Keontae George, PRA over 35.5. I think this is a smash spot for him.
No, I like it. I'm definitely going to have some bets in this game. I'm just hearing you talk about him, looking at no Collier props up yet. I think it's just because limited menu with the injury stuff. But I like it. Like you said, George has kind of been the talk of the town this year. I believe he's the competition for my boy Denny for that, most improved player, right? I believe they're the top 2 guys. And I mean, it's just been an awesome growth. And everyone kind of knew George could shoot, It was just like putting everything together and playing good ball. So I like the spot. He's going to be a high usage guy, like you said. I kind of like them in this game to win too. I know that's a little bit like both these teams are not great. Obviously, they both suck, but the Nets just played yesterday and they had kind of a Michael Porter Jr. against his former team, like emotional game. They gave it a good run and then you lost. You kind of expend a lot of energy doing that. I'm curious how you bounce back. I feel like they might get run out the gym a little bit in this one, like maybe they're not ready for George to come drop a 30 bomb on them. So I like it. Should be a good game. I got to find some Nets role players to bet on as well as both teams with the injuries on the George side as well.
Yeah, it's just this Utah team's tough when it's illness, right? Like these illnesses, it's just like, just tell me you got a fucking twisted ankle, buddy. I know you're out. Like, like I don't like these Q tags, like all this shit, but like, you also got to remember the Nets are traveling across country into altitude and playing back-to-back games. Like, fuck that. That would suck.
Right?
Like, that's brutal. Especially when a guy like MPJ is playing, 38 minutes last night and in altitude, going all out. And now you got to deal with this. Like, Utah's not down, man. It's another place where you got to deal with it again. Not as bad as Denver, but it's still an altitude spot. So, tough spot for the Nets.
And like you said, like you give it your all, like that matters. An NBA game on a regular basis, is Michael Porter Jr. giving it all? No, he's saving 20% for the podcast after, but hey, this was a big game, and now you got a little bit of an emotional kind of fall off. So I might actually bet him in this game. I know I don't really bet spreads right now, but might toss a couple shekels and see what happens. But I like the George spot. And the other guy I was looking at, just thinking about this game, I might have to bet on my boy Day'Ron Sharp with all these backup injuries. I know he never gets over 20 minutes apparently, but they give him more minutes. Okay, Sharp is a fucking bucket out there, DFS goat for the people that know. But we'll see. We'll see if they can unleash him.
Yeah, dude. The only reason I hate Day'Ron Sharp is the dude just fouls at an unbelievably high rate. Just don't fucking try to block every shot, bro. Just fucking stand there. Just stand there and put your hands up. Don't foul. Him and Filipowski, it might be a challenge to see who fouls out first. I think it might be probably a nice 10-minute rotation. And
Claxton also does. Like, that was his thing for a while, too, beforehand, So it's kind of funny that it's return. But if Filipowski gets bumped up to the starters or has to play more minutes, then you could begin freaking Sharp against the backups, like with all those dudes out, all the bigs. So that's just why he came to mind. But he is in kind of minutes limit hell, unfortunately, which is, or not limit, but you know what I mean? Stuck in that kind of 20-ish range,
Yeah, we call it the purgatory range, bro. You just can't get out of it. Can't get out of 20 and 24. You're just stuck. You're just stuck, and there's nothing you can do about it unless there's a big injury. I definitely like George. I think that this is literally a stew game, bro. If you're thinking about a stew game, like this, shit teams, back-to-back, illness, role players, bro. Like this kind of just screams, I think Stu's full card might be in this game. And maybe one wizard.
I'm like looking at him going like, Danny Wolf 3 assists. I can get there. I'm just like, fuck it. Like, let's go. Like all these dudes that I watched through the draft process as well and stuff, like it's interesting. I like these backup games. I think they're more fun. So we'll see. And I know that's not most people, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, most people ain't grinding like that either though, what I will say is make sure you guys are hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel as well. We should go through a quick recap here. I don't see any questions throughout. I know we came in a little early to the show just because it's we had to make something happen. We want to make sure that we get a show out for you guys, but I'll do a quick recap here.
Sounds good. Went back-to-back in the long shot department. We're going Bub Carrington of my Wizards, 8+ assists, plus 300. Like I said, also played a little double-double at plus 950. So, we'll see. Hoping for the assist long shot here for my boy Bub.
Awesome. I'll be rolling with Keontae George, over 35.5 PRA. Make sure you guys are over on FanDuel for this one. I believe it's 36. Most other places on the board so far. So anything else from you, Stu, before we get out of here on this Friday afternoon, before we get into this loaded weekend of sports like we mentioned?
Yeah, no, excited for UFC tomorrow. Got a little Volkanovski running that back. Cashed on him last time. We'll see. Maybe the Lopez people, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, and next week's football week. We got Super Bowl talk. I'm going to try to find some guests. And yeah, just excited to talk the big game as well. So good sports weekend. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think my favorite guy this weekend, for a little plus money is Raphael Fazeev.
Okay, I like that too.
I think he's going to be my dog of the week here. I know it's not much plus money, but because his money line's coming down, but that's a good spot for him against a fucking dude who's just trying to throw haymakers. And this dude's literally a fucking striking coach, bro. He's literally a striking coach. Like, don't get hit by a reverse back fucking spinning heel kick, and you'll be fine, dude. Just stay out of harm's way. Definitely gonna be. He's my favorite one of the weekend.
I was thinking Fazeev decision in that one. If you want a little greedy, if you want to get a little greedy, but that's just because Ruffy volume isn't there. So like if Fazeev, like you said, stays on the outside, lands a shots, like I think he can kind of walk to a decision in this one. But I like that look as well.
For sure. Well, we will catch you guys on Monday. I believe we'll be back regular time. Everything should be normal. But yeah, happy you guys were able to join us here. If you have any other questions before the slate starts, drop them in the chat, and we shall get to those before it starts. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on Monday. And best of luck on all of your bets this weekend.